fellow humans. Tech Nerd here. Let's get started. So, topic for today is, can the Mini-14 still be a truck or trunk gun? Well, first, let's say this right up front. I think the answer definitely is that it used to be. I would say of all the truck or trunk guns in retro times, 70s, 80s, 90s, I would say it definitely was one of the best, one of the top. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to take one by one. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, as we said, general utility. And that's, again, something with a little more range, a little more capacity, something more than a pistol. I think in that question, yeah, the Mini-14 definitely fits that. We have 223 5.56 chambering, or if you have a Mini-30, you have 7.62 by 39, also really good. You definitely have that. You've got decent capacity. You've got these 20 rounders. You can get all the way up to 30 if you want. Yeah, actually, you get all the way up to 40 if you really want. As far as that's considered, the first one, yeah, I think it definitely meets that criteria. Okay, number two is environmental. Is this thing environmentally adaptable? I would say generally yes, especially this one. This is a stainless steel version, so definitely for these, the stainless steel versions, again, if it's a Mini-14 or a Mini-30, yeah, you're generally in a better spot there. Now if you have a blued version, that's kind of, I don't know, you're kind of on the other end, but you're gonna have to keep this thing kind of clean. It defeats the purpose of a truck gun, kind of, because this is something you just want to have sitting in the back, and you don't have to worry about taking it out every once in a while to clean it. So I guess in this point, it really kind of depends if you have the blued or stainless steel version. That's going to be kind of up to you. But I think in general, yes, it would meet that criteria. Okay, criteria number three is compact footprint. This is where we start having some issues and some what ifs and whatabouts about the Mini-14. This one in this configuration, I would say this is probably going to fail that criteria. Consequently, if you had something like this, this is the tactical folding stock, and this is what it looks like when it's folded out. You can see this would solve kind of your problem. Now, when fully extended, it's pretty much the same length, but yeah, you can fold this one up, and that is going to fit much better behind the back seat. You can fire this in the folded position if you really wanted to. You could go A-team style. I wouldn't suggest that if you want to try to hit anything, but it's certainly possible. This also is going to have the same problem that this one does, in that it's got the wood stock. And that goes back to the question of how hardy is it environmentally. Now, if you can get your hands on some of these retro legacy items, the Ramline stocks, I think it's Chocate, they still make theirs. You can still get those. I think Ramline is out of business. Tapco had one, but I don't think that's foldable, although it is a retractable stock, which is somewhat similar. If you can find one of those older retro style stocks, that might help solve things too. But I got to tell you, those have gotten very, very pricey out there with the popularity of the Mini-14 increase. Okay, criteria number four is financial risk. This is where, unfortunately, we're going to take a big nosedive with the Mini-14, and for a few reasons. For one, I just hit on a while ago, and that is the cost of the stocks. Now, this wood stock here, now if you buy one that has this, then you're fine. The problem is that this stock, this compact one, this is very pricey. So and actually right now, I don't even think Samson is still making them. I think they're still on their website, but they say back order. And quite frankly, I've been checking them out. They've been back ordered for months. And I don't know if they're going to get any more in. Now, you can find these on Funbroker, but they're going to be even more pricey than they were when they first came out. It's really, really crazy. Now, the other part of this is the price for the gun itself is crazy. Back in the day, as I said, these were kind of one of the truck guns because they were like 250, 300, 350 quatlus, like a half, maybe less than a half, maybe a third of the price of what you would pay for an AR. You used to be able to get one of these, and that's why you used to see so many of these, either in a either in the back of a pickup truck window or behind the seat. And yeah, at that time they were the perfect truck gun because they were cheap. Now it's not so much. To get your basic newer Mini-14, you're looking at cheapest one available. You're looking at bare minimum probably in 800 quatlus. Most likely you're going to be up over 1,000 quatlus for to get one of these. If you want one with this stock, which they are still available, you're probably looking at 13 to 1400. That's a huge, huge risk to put one of these in the back of your truck, your car, your trunk, whatever, and hope that you remember to lock the doors every time and that it's not going to get stolen. Plus, again, you've got to look out for your state laws wherever you're at. Sometimes you can keep these, sometimes you can't. You got to know what your state wants so you don't wind up in trouble and losing the firearm that way. So I think in that criteria, unfortunately, it looks like the Mini-14 fails. Now, of course, that only works if you're going out and buying a new one. You already have one. You have an old one, and you're just looking to reform it. Yeah, I mean, I guess that still works, although you're still losing the same money because if you went and sold that thing, you could probably get some good quatlus, good amount of quatlus out of it. But either way, yeah, I think it fails that criteria. Fifth and last criteria is the social optics. What is this gun gonna look like when you pull it out of the back seat or the trunk or whatever? Someone thinking you're gonna head out to go hunting, or are they gonna think that you're bringing some trouble? Unfortunately, what that means is basically how this is going to scare the normies. Is this going to look like something like an AR, a black rifle, an AK, something like that? Or is it basically grandpa's old hunting gun? Now, with the Mini, you've got a pretty wide range there. So I think with something like this, you're probably okay. Although I would tell you this Hannibal rail probably to the normies could be a little scary looking. Plus, this nickel-plated magazine is going to catch some eyes. I think if you had either a black magazine or if you had the blue 10-rounder, that probably is going to slip by pretty easy. Again, if you had just the blued rifle in general, that's probably going to slip by pretty easy as well. But unfortunately, this is kind of so-so, I would say. Now, again, if you pull out something like this with this folding stock and you're looking all A-team and Hannibal like, yeah, probably going to get some eyes there. Unfortunately, the normies see anything with a pistol grip as a problem. So yeah, you're going to catch some eyes there. You have to incorporate those other factors with it. So yeah, you can use this one because it's compact, but yeah, you're going to lose some of the environmental protections that it might have. Plus, it looks a little too tactical, although it does have some very nice wood.
That's what she said.
It does. I think to the normies, this is still going to be a little too tactical, and it's probably going to scare some of them. But that criteria, that's going to kind of be up in the air. Okay, so conclusions. I think, unfortunately, the Mini-14 has a lot of positives for it that run. Unfortunately, I think the thing that really kills it is the monetary risk. If you're going to get a foldable stock to be able to make it compact, you're looking at probably shelling out a good amount of cash. Now, I think the old Chocate foldable stock, those probably you can still get pretty cheap if you can find one. think maybe they still have them on their website. Those probably are only maybe about 100 quatloos or more. That's not too bad. I will tell you, they're not the greatest, though. They're okay. And they are polymer, which is going to keep it environmentally protected. It's also black, though, so you lose a bit of that social optics. Um, there's a lot of issues that go back and forth here. Primarily, though, I'm going to tell you it's probably the price that is bumping this out of the truck gun uh, criteria. The only way this really works, as I said before, is if you already have a Mini. If maybe you have one of the older ones, which you've been able to adapt, maybe with the barrel stabilizer, and you have it in good working order, and you have an old legacy stocks like a Ram line or something like that, I think that works. That could work. I think if you really want to know what the best option is for a truck or truck gun, stay right there. All right, folks. So if you really want to know the best truck or truck gun, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be something like this. Now, I'm saying something like this because this is just an old beater shotgun that I bought at an auction for like 100 quatloos, and I really need to clean it because it's got some surface rust on it. This is also pretty long. If you go to Wally World or something like that, you can grab a Maverick 88 for under 200 quatloos. That would be the perfect, absolute perfect truck gun. You've got a fair amount of capacity. You definitely have potent firepower if you get a 12 gauge, which you're probably going to. Plus, is it compact? Not really, but you can get folding stocks for Mossberg shotguns if you really want to get that. They also offer I believe they're called the shock waves, which are really just this part of the shotgun. Plus, it's a shotgun. People know shotguns. This is America. America was built on shotguns. America invented shotguns. We took shotguns to World War One and Two and Vietnam and Korea and everything in between. America knows shotguns. I'm not going to say they're not afraid of them, but they're used to them. All right, folks, I think that's it. That is our discussion today on, can the Mini-14 be an effective truck gun or truck gun? Sorry if I offended anyone. Let me know your opinion, though, down below. Let me know what you think. Can the Mini-14 or Mini-30 be an effective truck gun? And if not, what would you rather have? Leave that down below. Folks, I hope you got something out of this today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the hype button if you see that. And folks, stay prepared. Keep watching those videos. This is Tack Nerd. I am out here.